ignoring the rising gas prices?
No.
Are you pretending that we don't have inflation and everything we buy isn't costing us more?
No. Government is.
But you're going out and you're spending you're borrowing 40 cents of every dollar you spend though, aren't you?
No.
Oh, you sure? Oh, wait a minute. I'm at the Tea Party. I'm not in Congress. That's what the difference is. So, for all my extremists and all my radicals and all my threats to democracy, how are you doing today?
Yeah.
Because they keep saying that. We keep hearing democracy. Democracy supposed to love. No, I am a threat to democracy. I am a champion of a constitutional republic. That stands in direct contrast with your democracy. So I don't care what democracy looks like. It really doesn't matter to me because we're in the United States of America and we have a constitutional republic, and that's what we'll stand by.
Yeah.
So, I'm watching the news the other day and I'm yelling at the TV as usual. And my daughter comes up, right out there, and my daughter comes up and she says, "Mom, what's the matter? It's just the budget." And I'm looking down at my 6-year-old and I know that $14 trillion worth of debt will still be there when she gets older. And I said, how can I explain this to my girl? So I said, you remember watching Robin Hood? And she said, yes, Mommy, you take from the rich and you give to the poor. I said, do you believe in taking from the rich and giving to the poor? And she said, yes. I said, okay, let's start at the beginning. Let's start with the basics. Thou shalt not steal.
Yeah.
The ends never justify the means. And after that, because you know, first and foremost, you got to make sure you're following God's commandments. So then I say, you know, did you ever hear the phrase rob from the rich and give to the poor in Robin Hood? She said no. I said, well, where did it come from? See, because these are those teachable moments that we need to have with our kids, you know? So I said, well, where did it come from? And I don't know. So I said, okay, it's extra homework time. Time to learn a new lesson. So here we go. Let's break down Robin Hood. First and foremost, you got to ask a few questions. Who were the rich? How did they become rich? Who were the poor? How did they become poor? See, I like to make sure my daughter knows all the progressive tricks of the trade. I want to make sure she understands the name calling, the fear tactics, the taking things out of context, and especially the rewriting of history. Because in Robin Hood, the rich weren't the producers. They weren't the creators of wealth. The rich were friends of the king, like Duke GE and Duchess General Motors. They had Sheriff SEIU when you need a little force behind your words. They had Royal Currency Crasher George Soros and Central Planner Cass Sunstein and those acorn bandits that took off their uniforms and stand among the common people just waiting for us to get out of line. Those were the rich. And see, the poor weren't beggars and moochers. The poor didn't depend on the government for everything that they needed. They were the farmers, the ironsmith, the sheep herders. They were the small businesses that worked hard for everything that they got. Those were the poor.
Amen.
See, Robin Hood didn't come from the necessity of robbing from the rich to give to the poor. He came from the necessity of preventing an all-powerful government from taxing the people into starvation. The once wealthy landowners who didn't have political friends were told in one form or another, from each according to his ability, to each according to his need. No need ever usurps the need of a king, a czar, a despot, or a president that usurps Congress with executive orders. See, because according to the king, the czar, the despot, or the president that usurps Congress with executive orders, spending is never the problem. People who want to keep what they earn are the problem. People who want to reap what they've sown are the problem. Thrifty people who want to save for the future are the problem. People who stand for the individual rights of others are the problem. Robin Hood was the problem. Tea Party, you're the problem. But like Robin Hood, you said enough. You have told an all-powerful government you're not as strong as you thought you were. You have reminded an all-powerful government that they work for you. You have shown up time after time to tell them that this time we mean business. And we're not going away no matter how much you want to make us think you're cutting the budget. We know what real cuts look like. But the thing that makes us different from Robin Hood, the thing that sets us apart, is that thing that the founders gave us, our Constitution. See, because to change things, we don't have to become robbers and bandits and cronies for a corrupt system. All we have to do is in November 2012, vote them out. By the time I finished with my daughter in this little teachable lesson, she was looking up at me and she said, "Mom, why are you so angry?" Well, being back here in my hometown, I am reminded why I am so angry. There are no Robin Hoods in my neighborhood. There are the bandits and the robbers and the cronies of a corrupt system. You know, the progressive version of Robin Hood. They show up and they protest for pay raises for public school teachers that constantly fail our kids. They support Planned Parenthood that decimates my community's population.
Boo!
They push unemployment and food stamps until when they come to the realization that they are not producers of wealth, but they are thieves of it, and thieves cannot create jobs. They fight for the little guy when night after night our youth are slaughtered in a system that they put into place. So I asked my city, why am I the only one angry? I asked my community, why aren't you mad as hell? I got told that you guys didn't get mad until you were forced to go on food stamps, or you were forced to get on unemployment, and that's where your anger comes from. So I asked the black community, where's your anger for us being forced towards government handouts? Where's our voice to say that we've had enough? Why are we not mad that these handouts only cost us our liberty and our freedom? Why are we upset that though many of us may not pay income taxes, that our fair share in big government is the death of our sons and our daughters, of our sisters and our brothers, the incarceration of our nieces and our nephews in a system that they know is set up for them to fail, where hope and change only means more of the same. All we have to pay is our life, our liberty, and our pursuit of happiness, and big government can handle the rest. To me, the cost is too high, and I refuse to pay another dime. I refuse to watch my community pay another dime in blood, time served, or progressively altered fairy tales. Robin Hood is the story of tax day, preventing an all-powerful government from taxing the people into starvation. He did not take from the creators of wealth and give back to the poor. He took from the government thieves and gave it back to the people who created the wealth in the first place. Robin Hood is the story of you, Tea Party, and I am so happy to be here speaking with you today. And I'll make you a promise that I'll do the only thing that I've ever been asked to do by a Tea Party, and that's be a Robin Hood in my own community. Thank you.